Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is your chef with Dahi Bharwa Karela. Dahi is curd, Bharwa is the stuffing, and Karela is the bitter gourd. I have with me around a dozen Karelas, beginning with the first one. Get rid of the tail and scrape out all the skin from the top. So you'll be following this procedure for all your dozen Karelas. You will then be creating a vertical slit in all these Karelas one by one. This slit you'll be creating so that you can fill them with the stuffing. So grab your knife, be careful while you do this, and create a nice long slit from the head to the toe. I've done this for all my Karelas, and you can see I've de-seeded them too. The seeds I have removed and they're here, and the skin that we peeled off is here. So we have our nice clean 12 Karelas, but they are still bitter. To get rid of their bitterness, we'll be smearing some salt over them. So grab one by one each of these Karelas, and in them you can add 1/8 teaspoon of salt. Brush the salt nicely using your fingers towards the inside, and over the outside you can do it by placing a little salt on your palm and rotating the Karela in 360 degrees motion. This step when you repeat for all your Karelas one by one and stock them aside for at least 4 to 6 hours, they will get rid of their bitterness. And make sure after 6 hours you wash them inside out with water. Let's now prepare the stuffing. For the stuffing I have 200 grams of curd. Make sure your curd doesn't have any water content. To this we'll be adding a teaspoon of salt, followed by 1 teaspoon of coriander powder, ¾ teaspoon of garam masala, and 1 teaspoon of red chili powder. And for a little tanginess we'll be adding 1 teaspoon of dry mango powder, which is also called Amchoor. And once you've added all these ingredients, we'll mix them up pretty well. One important step which I would like to repeat once again is I forgot to add a ¼ teaspoon of turmeric powder. Now let's give it a good mix. So one important thing that I would like to stress upon is please make sure that your curd has not much water content, because when you will create the stuffing and stuff this into the Karelas, you don't want any liquids to pour out into your oil when your Karelas are being shallow fried. Yes, I hope that is pretty clear to you. So mix it pretty well, and it is time now to fill up those lovely adorable Karelas. So grab one of them and fill them as much as you like. I fill it using 1 teaspoon, and that is what I feel is sufficient for each Karela. Now, so that the filling or the stuffing that you've prepared doesn't fall out, you can use any thread. I'm using my thread which I use for stitching clothes or knitting them, and I'm just rotating it on top of this Karela, as you can see, so that the stuffing stays intact. My friends, I'd like to mention to you once again that these Karelas, after being stocked for 6 hours, when they were brushed along with the salt over them, these Karelas were washed. Right now, there is no salt content on them. We just have added the filling and we have crossed it over with the thread. I have taken a pan in which I have enough oil for shallow frying the Karelas. So make sure the oil is very hot when you place the Karelas, because if your oil is cold, or it is not up to the mark, your Karelas will start soaking and drinking the oil as if they are camels in the deserts. Though they're not camels, they look like crocodiles right now. Anyway, what's the important point? You have to make sure that your oil is hot enough, and as you can see, we are shallow frying it, we are not deep frying, so you don't need too much oil. So once you have cooked them, when they are golden brown on the bottom, you can shift them over to 180 degrees on the other side. So that's what I've done. Cooked them at one side, then shifted them over onto the other side by flipping them. And to cook them on each side, I took at least I believe 8 to 10 minutes. It takes a long time for cooking these Karelas, though in this video the video has been edited and cut short. Do you remember the seeds that we had saved? Those seeds is what we'll be adding right now to this oil. So most importantly, the seeds have been added not because we'll be consuming them, but the seeds have a tremendous, beautiful, amazing flavor. And when these seeds are added to the oil and the oil clings to your Karelas, the Karelas absorb the oil with all the aromas and the flavors of the seeds. So the important reason why we added the seed right now is because the oil has to get into the flavors of what exactly the seeds can offer. So I think it's time now, after approximately cooking them on each side for 10 minutes and a total of 20 minutes, to remove these Karelas from the hot oil and to serve them on a platter. You can enjoy these with chapatis, rotis, or anything that you like. I prefer them with some good hot butter chapatis. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching Dahi Bharwa Karela. Do join our social network by following the next video on your screen. Thank you.